IKEA has a dark secret? You can grow something inside you if you swallow a seed? There's a parasite that can eat my tongue? The world is a creepy place. And I should know. I've just been researching some facts that'll give you the ick faster than a curly hair in your club sandwich. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 creepy facts that'll make your skin crawl. 25. You can still be crucified. Crucifixions were a brutal punishment. Hang on, not were, are. In Sudan, a case was reported in 1996 where a sentence of hanging followed by crucifixion had been ordered by a judge in North Darfur. This was to punish armed robbers and show that ancient traditions are still very much alive. Reports from 2014 stated that men had been crucified in Syria during the conflict there. In fact, it's been used in various wars across recent history. And you can apparently still be crucified after death in Saudi Arabia. You're decapitated first, only for the head to be reattached. 24. Cannibals of Death Island. Imagine an idealized community that descends into bloodshed and cannibalism. The island of Nazio in western Siberia was suddenly populated with political prisoners from the Soviet Union in 1933. Why? This was the idea of Stalin's men, who figured shipping their opponents out to start a new life was a good plan. They could learn to live independently and provide crops for Mother Russia. After a matter of weeks, however, it was clear that people weren't coping with the harsh landscape, and they were eating each other. Thousands died or went missing. 23. The Prisoners of IKEA. IKEA is one of the go-to places for flat-pack furniture. But who makes the furniture? For a while, the products at IKEA were put together by East German political prisoners. Oppose communism and receive a sentence assembling chairs and cupboards. This grim practice reportedly happened in the 70s and 80s, and the company didn't acknowledge the dark truth until 2012. Later, in 2022, reports emerged alleging that IKEA had indirectly used prisoners in Belarus. 22. Insanity Train. We've all gone a little stir-crazy on a railway journey. Yet the Victorians took this to a whole nother level, believing that the noises and the movements someone experiences on board could trigger dangerous impulses. By the way, if you saw me ranting and screaming on a train platform, don't worry, I didn't go insane. I just heard the price of a cup of coffee. 21. Headphones are bacteria traps. You probably already know that wearing your headphones too long is bad for your ears. But did you know that even an hour's headphone use can potentially affect ear health? That's the theory suggested in various studies, such as a 1992 investigation into airline headphones worn over the ear. Worryingly, the bacteria level went up 11 times within the space of a single hour. But no need to panic though. This is reportedly a low level, and we don't know if you can actually damage your hearing through overwearing earbuds and such. 20. Decapitated cockroaches. Well, it wouldn't be a skin-crawling list without cockroaches, right? There are various ways of killing little creeps, but cutting off their heads, well, ain't one of them. Yes, a roach will keep on scuttling for a reported 9 days after decapitation. Why? Well, their brains aren't in their noggins. They're actually part of their bodies. Oof. 19. Ashton Kutcher. When star Ashton Kutcher went to his then-girlfriend Ashley Elleran's home in February 2001, he expected her to be ready for their date. Reportedly, he wasn't on time, so surely she'd be there, and, less than happy. When no one answered, Kutcher looked in the window, seeing what he thought was a wine stain on the floor. He figured the date was off. What he didn't know was that Elleran had been brutally murdered by Michael Gargiulo, also known as the Hollywood Ripper. It wasn't a wine stain, it was blood. Gargiulo received a death sentence in 2021. 18. Witchball. Football and witchcraft don't mix. Unless you're an Australian football team desperate to get to the World Cup. Yes, astonishingly, the Socceroos decided to visit a Nyunga in Mozambique when they were told to play Rhodesia in 1969. They'd been told if they could curse the Rhodesian players, then the path would be clear to some sweet, sweet goals. For a short while, it was. Then the witch doctor asked for $1,000. The Aussies didn't pay up, so he reversed the curse. A few years later, they played at the World Cup, though there was a 30-year-plus gap till the next shot at glory. Coincidence? Or were there darker forces at play? 17. tiny frog of death. Size isn't everything, as the golden poison dart frog shows. Found in the Colombian rainforest, it would fit on your thumbnail. However, you really wouldn't want it there. You see, a touch from this toxic yellow creature will put you in the grave. A single golden poison frog, or Phyllobates terribilis, could potentially kill up to 15 people. So be careful, or you'll croak. 16. Fast food contains pubic hair. God knows why someone wanted to do a study to find out how many pubic hairs were in fast food, but I guess we're grateful to them? I mean, who knew you could even get them in your burger and fries? And I'm not talking about 1 or 2. You can swallow as many as 12 per year. And if that isn't an excuse to cut down on the junk food, then I don't know what is. 15. Sloth surprise. Sloths are weird-looking creatures, but they're also really cute. I mean, I could live without those fearsome-looking talons on the end of their paws, of course. I'm sorry, what's that? They're not talons? They're friggin' finger bones? Oh, cancel my trip to the zoo. I need to lie down to get over the creepiness. Oh, no. 14. Bees have hair on their eyes. I'm sorry, bees have what now? Hairy eyes are creepy, but they actually serve a useful purpose. They work as extra pollen collectors, ensuring the bee grabs as much of the good stuff as it can. These insects are covered in hair anyway, getting pollen on their bodies and legs, so it makes sense they have it on their eyes too. 13. Toothfoot. Some poor kid had a tooth growing out of his foot. In 1977, 13-year-old Doug Pritchard was diagnosed with a genetically incorrect chomper, which had grown inside his left foot. The tooth was finally extracted, leaving Doug free of the agonizing pain he'd suffered. It's not the first thing you'd think of when you have a painful foot, but then this is one crazy, creepy world we live in. And you know what else is pretty creepy? The fact that you haven't liked, shared, commented, or subscribed yet. Don't ask me how that's creepy. I'm just making it work. So be sure to do all that because it actually totally helps the channel. And check out our social medias. Trust me. 12. Tarantulas can go for years without food. As well as being scary as heck, no they're not. Tarantulas are among the toughest 8-legged freaks in the game. They need water to survive, yet food isn't something they really rely on due to their low metabolism. Reportedly, a tarantula can do without solids for up to 2 years. Unfortunately, if you're trapped in a room with a tarantula and you're waiting for it to die, you may be kicking the bucket before the spider. Come on, tarantulas are cool. They're not creepy. I've held them. They're really neat. They're just hairy spiders. They're adorable. They're big hairy spiders. What's so creepy about that? A warlord who shoots people in the face. What's so scary about that? References. 11. Bizarre baby mustache. A baby with a little mustache sounds kind of cute. I like that baby from Addams Family. Of course, this particular mustache wouldn't look out of place in those movies. Why? Well, because it's a living mustache called a lanugo that grows to cover their bodies, turning your little miracle into a little werewolf for a limited period. It's a built-in fur coat, providing warmth for the baby before falling out prior to leaving the womb. Altogether ooky. 10. Mating habits of the anglerfish. The anglerfish looks creepy, and it behaves creepy also. Not content with subjugating a female to a mating session with its ugly mug, the male then fuses its body onto that of its sexual partner. Anglerfish literally mate for life, with the male eventually becoming like a third arm. Their third fin? 9. Trees can grow inside you. How does your garden grow? Well, in your lungs if you're not careful. There's a recorded case of a pine tree being discovered in somebody's body back in 2009. And if you're surprised, imagine how the doctors felt when they opened him up expecting to see a tumor. This creepy situation happened in the Russian mountains, where it's thought the poor guy inadvertently swallowed a seed. 8. Sleep killing. Sleepwalking is pretty harmless, isn't it? Well, it turns out you can actually kill someone in your sleep. Homicidal somnambulism is the technical term, and tragically it happened in 2005 when a man in Great Britain attacked and killed his father whilst unconscious and under the influence of alcohol. Later in 2024, a boy claimed he was asleep when he was violent to fellow students and a staff member at his boarding school. The boy was found guilty of attempted murder, but that man who attacked his father was cleared. 7. You can tell if you're being watched when you're asleep. One of the creepiest things imaginable is the idea of a stranger watching you while you sleep. So, allow me to make things even creepier with the news that your body is actually aware of this happening. People have put this down to ESP, or extrasensory perception. Your brain is tuned into anything that might be harmful, such as someone coming up behind you, and the instinct doesn't appear to go away just because you're unconscious. 6. Alarming news. CNN has only been broadcasting since 1980. I mean, how surprising is that? What's even more surprising is how apocalyptic they are. What do I mean? Well, this seemingly straight-laced news organization was prepping like pros when they made their on-air debut. Somewhere in the CNN vault is a special rendition of the hymn, "Nearer My God to Thee." This is to be played when it looks like the world is about to end. 5. Mind-controlling cat poop parasite. In 2013, an icky and creepy fact emerged about our feline friends. Their feces carry a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii. Now, we all like a good snuggle with our kitties, but if we accidentally transfer this parasite to our mouths, we become infected. Not so bad for us due to our immune system, however, mice and rats are really in trouble. In trouble because the parasite appears to take over the brain and draw them toward cats. And also in a big doo-doo because cats see rodents as a warm meal. The prey makes it easy for them. Meals on squeals, you could say. 4. Out of your skull. Take a hit from the bong. This PSA brought to you by, well, maybe not this bong. After all, it is a human skull. In 2008, 3 young stoners thought it'd be a great idea to dig up somebody's bony noggin and inhale drugs through it. That sounds like a scene from some crazy teen comedy. However, the edge is taken off when you learn that the skull reportedly belonged to a dead child from the 1920s. Was that supposed to make it better? Was the edge taken off now? What? 3. Tongue-eating louse. What's that on your tongue? A face? Looks like you've been hit by Symophila exigua, the parasite that not only targets your tongue, but eats and replaces it too. Thankfully, only fish are the victims of this creature, though it is better to be safe than sorry and keep your mouth closed if you're ever swimming in Mexico or Central America. 2. The creepy truth about kidney transplants. These operations aren't as straightforward as you might think. It isn't a case of one out and one in. Your defective kidney often stays where it is, with the healthy organ slotted into your body as a life-saving bonus. It's a little creepy to think about, but worth it to stay alive, of course. 1. Rigor erectus. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you don't get aroused. Rigor erectus, also known as the death erection, has been noted in victims of hanging. The pressure on the brain and spinal cord results in a bizarre yet horrifying reaction down below. It's a grim version of what's known in medical circles as a priapism, where blood doesn't flow to the penis like it should. Well, that's it for our creepy list of facts that'll make your skin crawl. And if you think you can handle more, then you need to check out 25 creepy things caught on live streams. Or if you're in the mood for something different, well, I'll have a whole new list for you next time. See you then.